Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
You're ready to reconnect, to discover, to explore a Georgia that always has more stories to share and views to admire. Set for your next adventure while you set your own pace to wonder or wander, or whatever it is that makes you feel you. To feel that Georgia feeling, those beautiful, real, honest moments. The only found in Georgia moments. Find yours at exploregeorgia.org.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime.
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
At Shry Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Shry Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
contemplating becoming a volleyball official?
Just go for it.
Take the plunge, open the door.
Say yes to officiating. Learn more about how to get involved at sayyes2officiating.com.
The rhythmic sound of more than 500 cascading waterfalls. The endless echo of more than 10,000 caves. The serene silence of 1,000 miles of wilderness trails. The next time someone tells you to get lost, consider it an opportunity. Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
Hello and welcome to the campus of Reinhardt University. College baseball on the Southeast Sports Network all day long. We've got the action. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate you tuning in and being along for the ride. Gabriel Schrei here. We've got a couple of guys in the booth with us today. I'm going to let you introduce yourselves. Most people probably know the two of you already, though.
Well, my name is Taylor Jackson. I'm one of the quarterbacks on the football team. I'm a communication and media studies major, and I appreciate Gabriel Schrei for allowing us to come out here and join him today.
Thrilled to have you with us.
And then I'm Lorenzo Robinson. Probably not much of a guest on the broadcast at this point, but again, an honor to be here yet again for another Reinhardt baseball showdown here in Waleska, Georgia.
The 0-2 pitch. Chopped left side. This rattles towards the outfield, and the play over at first, one down.
Is it 2 outs?
Center fielder at the plate for Johnson's Royals. Takes a strike with one away. Fouls off. That's strike 2 already. Down on the count, 0-2. With one away, the 1-2 pitch. And he stands by the road and watches that go by as he'll go back to the dugout with 2 away.
And a 5 start to the outing for Ben Medley. And we've seen him on numerous occasions. There have been some times where he's looked like one of the better pitchers in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, a bit uneven at other times, but definitely the talent and the stuff to be a very consistent member of this Reinhardt group.
To the right side, and he's cut down at first to retire the side. We will go to the bottom of the first just like that. Quick side, we'll be back on the Southeast Sports Network with more college baseball in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back. It's college baseball on the Southeast Sports Network. Football guys in the booth for baseball today. Gabriel Schrei here. We've got the signal caller. Are you the left guard or the right?
I'm anywhere they need me to be, man.
They move you around.
Anywhere they need me to be.
That's a good
guy on the line.
That's a good problem. Problem for you. It's good for the team.
Man, it's just stay ready to keep from having to get ready.
Do you prefer a side when you play?
Well, I'm left-handed, so naturally probably the left side feels more natural. But, I don't really have a preference, just anything we need. I know that sounds like a cliche answer, but that's really true, just whatever we need. And then a guy who knows a lot about that coming up to the plate, Jared Burney. You can't really call him a utility guy because he's so good at multiple positions. He's played short, second, as well as third base over the course of his time at Reinhardt. Definitely a guy that has experience, very multifaceted, multiple-time all-conference selection as well. Having another stellar year for Reinhardt. And the Eagles trying to keep this momentum rolling. They've really asserted themselves as one of the top teams, not just in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, but also in the country.
Big gap shot for Jared Burney.
He's rounding second. He's headed to third. And a leadoff triple for Jared Burney.
Man, what a way to kick off the game today, man. That's big to come off a winning series last week for Southeastern. They're going to start this series off with a big triple.
And can't really say that we're surprised to see him do that. We know that he has wheels. He's very capable. Very well hit ball out there to right field. And like I said, when he gets going, it's hard to stop. Now up to the plate for the Eagles, Adrian Vargas, a newcomer who has really made his name in this Reinhardt lineup, and a team that really has high hopes, big expectations, trying to be a group that is a factor going in deep into May. And Reinhardt coming off of a few consecutive NAIA opening round series appearances. Now they're trying to take the next step and make themselves one of the World Series contenders for this year. And Taylor, I thought they got off to a great start doing that with that series win against Southeastern. The confidence from beating the number one team in the country, it has to feel good for where they are and where they stand.
And you have to be able to ride that momentum. You already got the head start. You got the attitude and everything. So being able to ride that momentum into this series here and just keep continuing to make that statement that you are one of the big teams in the nation, in the NAIA.
Count 2-1, and Vargas fouls this one off. So now the count is 2-2 again. Burney at third by way of that leadoff triple. Reinhardt's facing off against a team in Johnson that has been pretty average, I would say, this season. 17-4 as a chopper. Lands right to the first baseman. So Vargas is out at first. Burney easily scores. Reinhardt strikes first blood. But a Johnson team that has been pretty average this year, up and down, very inconsistent. 17-14 overall, 8-10 in conference play. And they're a group that obviously feels like they have the talent to make something happen, but still trying to put the pieces together still some time for them to round into form heading into the AAC tournament. And what a great chance they have here going up against a team ranked 11th in the country, number 1 in the conference. It would be a huge statement if they're able to overcome this hill, but it's something that up to this point they have not been able to do. Still looking for their first win as a program against Reinhardt on the diamond.
This is Dylan Lewis at the plate here, who has the capability to be a big bat for Reinhardt. Hitting that 3 spot. Now he's down, count 1-2.
And another chopper. The throw was made at first, and that's out number 2. But Taylor, you're absolutely right talking about Dylan Lewis, one of a multitude of guys who are very capable of making things happen. And we see another guy, number 7, Tucker Zadunik, currently batting .385, along with 9 home runs. And a former All-American selection for the Eagles having another banner year. A grounder, and it escapes the glove of the second baseman. So Zadunik will make his way to first by way of that error from Johnson. And errors like that just make things so much harder, especially when you go against a team that is as talented as Reinhardt. You don't really need to help them by giving them free bases. So doing things like that really doesn't bode well as this season and this game goes on.
I like what I'm seeing right here with Reinhardt. They're not scared at the plate. They're putting the ball in play. They're attacking the pitch. And plays like that is where you want to see it at. You see Tucker Zadunik go put the ball in play, just eat up the second baseman here, just to get on base and have give Reinhardt a chance to move the runners around.
You're absolutely right. A very aggressive approach that Reinhardt is taking here in the first inning. And Nash Kroll is at the plate. Of course, last time that we saw Nash Kroll at the plate, as he rips this one into left field, Zadunik rounding second and headed to third. Kroll's headed to second. So a double there from Nash Kroll, a little Heisman pose and flashing the money sign. Nash Kroll getting on with a double and Zadunik making his way to third. But the last time that we saw Nash Kroll, of course, he took a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to the face. A very scary moment during that Southeastern series. But the warrior that Kroll is, he got up and his face battered and bruised. He was asking his coach, can he get back in the game? And Coach Burton was not very enthused by that thought, but that just shows you the kind of person, the kind of warrior that Kroll is, and it's good to see him back on the field.
And he looks good, too. That was quite the pitch he took. I was really worried about him, but jumped right up, wanted to go take his base, if you remember.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't let him, and but he was in good spirits the whole time about it.
Now's a moment, I would say, when you talk about big-time moments that you'll remember from a year, seeing him like that was definitely a moment that will live on for the rest of this season.
That retires the side. We'll take a break with these two teams and be back with the top of the second in just a moment. It's Appalachian Athletic Conference Baseball on the Southeast Sports Network. Welcome back inside of the press box and to Ken White Field. Gabriel Schrei here. We've got the signal caller from the football team and Mr. Robinson, broadcaster extraordinaire, Lorenzo. Thrilled to have you with us. Good one so far. 1-0 Eagles, and we're into the top of the second where we're going to get another look at the Royals at bat. Thoughts on what we've seen just through one inning?
I mean, we've seen Reinhardt really take a very aggressive approach at the plate again, not being scared, really attacking. And And then when they see an opening, being ready to pounce. And then on the other side, Ben Medley has had a very nice start to his outing. And we see Reinhardt, as they've been for much of this year, very locked in defensively, the infield making plays. This team is clicking on all cylinders as they're looking to make their way into the top 10 in the next NAIA national poll.
Scott, I said it earlier. I know you just said now the aggressiveness you see at the plate from Reinhardt. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. I'm hoping they can carry it on as well and stay aggressive and take this pitcher deep into some counts as well.
Quick strike there. Count is 0-1. Top of the second from Ken White Field, college baseball on SCSN. Reinhardt's Eagles playing host to the Royals of Johnson University. That's no short drive for them.
Absolutely not, but again, these are times when you have these long road trips, your team is able to come together and you really see what kind of group you have. It's very easy to play with a sense of comfort when you're at home, but when you're on the road, that's a true test of character and mettle within your team.
The 2-2 pitch. Blasted left side. This one's sailing towards the wall, and he's out. One away in the top of the second.
Number 3, Bryson Jones.
Johnson 17 wins this season. They've won 54% of their games entering this weekend series tripleheader against Reinhardt's Eagles. Their conference record less than stellar, 8-10, 44% win rate. And they lost last time out, looking to bounce back, but obviously you can't get a tougher opponent.
Can't get a tougher opponent, and that's one way of looking at it, or there couldn't be a better opportunity to turn your season around. That's another kind of side of that coin. So Johnson will be trying to take that approach into this 3-game stretch against the Eagles.
Royals man hustling down to first and didn't make it in time. 2 away.
And who else but Jared Burney making that play from third? That ball skedaddling across that line, and he corralled that one and made a nice throw.
Nolan Cusey next in the lineup.
Ben Medley right now pitching with a lot of confidence on the mound.
Left side, this goes foul. Strike 2. 2 away, top of the second. 1-0 Reinhardt Eagle lead.
Good pitch, 1 and 2. Ben Medley's doing a great job right now hitting his spots right here. You know, with Matty Maurer at the plate as well. What's called he is pitching with confidence and allowing himself to hit those outside corners. Now that is 2 balls straight in a row that he's hit that same spot. And you got Matty Maurer at the plate asking the umpire where he's missing at.
Also good framing by Maurer too to really make the umpire think about where that pitch was located.
Left side, this is trailing towards the wall. Looks like he's gone, and he is. So that'll retire the side and send us to the bottom half of the inning in Waleska, Georgia, between the Eagles and the Royals on SCSN. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia. Ken Whitefield, 1-0 Reinhardt Eagles on SCSN. Thrilled to have you along for the ride. We've got a lot of stuff to look at here. Let's start before this next half an inning. Take a look at the current top 25 in America. And Southeastern, number 1 still in the poll for now. Reinhardt taking a series against them. 2 of their 4 losses this season coming to the Eagles, who are number 11 in the country. They've had a really good year. Really exciting to see a couple of these programs competing. And as you can see in the bottom half of the top 25, a few Appalachian Athletic Conference teams competing and getting votes. So excited to see that for our region in the conference for all these guys.
Exactly, and it's going to make for some fun baseball as we get through this home stretch of the year. It will really add an extra element of significance to the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament with all of these teams jockeying for positioning and trying to solidify their resumes to earn an invite into the NAI opening round.
Quick ball.
And Mendoza at the plate for the Eagles. We've seen him on numerous occasions make some huge hits for them. He was Mr. Clutch in that series against Southeastern, came up big.
Count is 1-1 for Sadunik, or rather Mendoza. At least Mendoza's been good all year long. Left side, this goes out.
Mendoza, I mean, you're talking about another guy who was not in Reinhardt's lineup last season and really making his presence felt and doing more than making his presence felt. He's been one of their most consistent batters, which is relative when you look at the overall strength of their lineup amongst guys, and it seems like it increases every game, but amongst guys with at least 40 at-bats, they have 8 players hitting over 300. Hitting for 330 as a team.
He's going to get sat down right there. What looked like a high pitch, but Mendoza questioning the umpire at the plate. 1 out.
One away, bottom of the second. Following Mendoza in the order is Matty Maurer. Matty Maurer was on fire against Southeastern University. Last time out for Reinhardt, they hit 5 home runs in 1 game, so they're coming off of a really big showing. Maurer, a crucial part of that as well.
Another guy that we've seen come up big on numerous occasions for the Eagles in big moments. I mean, we just go back to his 5-for-5 outing against Point a couple of weeks ago. Matty Maurer, very capable at the plate. With that being said, a lot of credit has to go to Hoffman, the pitcher for Johnson. He's not pitching scared to Reinhardt at all, and it can be very easy to do that, especially with the strength of this team arguably being how deep and talented their lineup is, and he's going right at them. He's making them very uncomfortable at the plate so far. Right now, Maurer ahead on the count 3-1. Would think that he's not going to swing unless it's a pitch he can't refuse.
That's exactly what he does right there. Going to take his base here.
He had a feeling that's where that one was going. Didn't want to put himself in a disadvantageous situation. You don't want to swing wildly at something. You want to try to give yourself an opportunity to just get on base.
And you also, I mean, if you're going to swing 3-1, you want something in your wheelhouse. You want something that's right there sitting on a silver platter. This is Lance Dockery at the plate here.
Thought the center fielder was going to get the pitch, and instead a quick check-in over at first.
Dockery, guy who hit well over 300 for Reinhardt last year, was one of their most improved players at the plate a season ago. Right now hovering around the 260 mark, but Definitely someone that Coach Burton feels like he can go to in pressure situations, in clutch situations. Dockery already has a walk-off home run this year. Actually, 2 of them, as one of his walk-offs prompted a run rule earlier this season against St. Andrews. But Lance Dockery, just the confidence that he has at the plate, night and day from the player that we saw out of him 2 seasons ago.
Here we go, play out at second, and wow, what a play.
You got to give a lot of credit to that duo, the pitcher and catcher duo of Hoffman and Sanchez. It seems like they may have communicated about that beforehand. We saw Hoffman was all over that when he was ready.
This pitching staff has been good all year for Johnson's Royals, an ERA of 5.26. Slightly better than the Eagles, and their pitching staff keeps them in games at times. Obviously a tough comparison to make when you talk about strength of schedule, but it's there.
Absolutely, it's there. And this is not a Johnson team that is devoid of talent. They have guys very capable, especially in their pitching staff. And if you're going to beat a team like Reinhardt, you need to be able to pitch well against them and keep yourself in the game.
Play down at first will retire the side. We'll be back with the third in just a moment on SCSN. It's 1-0 Reinhardt. Welcome back to the campus of Reinhardt University. Thanks for being with us, Southeast Sports Network. Excited to have you along for the ride today. Really good one. Taking a look at Reinhardt's recent schedule and what's upcoming. A pair of wins against the number 1 team in the nation, Southeastern University. A big one against Middle Georgia. 5 home runs in that game back on the 2nd just a couple of days ago. 2 more games against Johnson tomorrow. Montreat, a doubleheader against Bryan. So some really good stuff coming up for Reinhardt's Eagles. And here's what's been recent for Johnson and what's coming up. A trio of games against Truett McConnell, won 2 of them. Lost the last in the series. 2 more games against Reinhardt tomorrow. Georgia Gwinnett coming up. And Carolina University rounding out their upcoming schedule. Welcome back to Ken Whitefield. Top of the third is now 1-0 Reinhardt Eagles.
1-0, absolutely. And Johnson, again, their pitching staff keeping them in the game. And you really just have to hope that if you hover around long enough that you're going to be able to build some momentum at the plate. Swing and miss there. Ben Medley just continuing his strong start to the outing. So when you're a pitcher, you may not necessarily be getting the level of run support that you would probably hope for at this point in the game. What's your mindset going into the third and as this game continues to roll on?
I think going into the third here, you still got to continue to, to pitch to the plate, be aggressive at the plate, and then you just got to trust the guys behind you, especially if you're Ben Medley on the mound. You trust Jared Burney, you trust Marcio Allen, you trust Nas Kroll at first base, you trust your guys in the outfield. And you just keep being aggressive and keep throwing to them. Allow them to put it in play. If they put it in play, you just trust your defense behind you.
Absolutely. And to that point, he has guys that are very capable, guys that he can trust. And it wouldn't just be blind faith, right? We've seen what they are able to do in pressurized situations as well, not just in any situation. So absolutely Ben Medley needing to stay aggressive. Here he is pitching on the 2-2. That one off the plate for ball number 3, and the count fills up here. Good at bat here from Sanchez, looking to make something happen as he fouls this one off, just staying alive. And in my estimation, this is absolutely what Johnson needs a little bit more of, forcing Ben Medley to pitch deep in the counts. Through those first 2 innings, it seemed like every at-bat was very quick. He didn't really have to work too hard to get outs.
Big point there, allowing, Johnson wants to be able to, push Ben Medley in deep in his counts, but you got to be able to capitalize on them too. Get runners on base, push him deep in the counts, and get some runs in.
Absolutely have to capitalize. I come from the generation where there are no moral victories.
And he does does just that nice line drive, over towards the shortstop. He tried to dive for it, he wasn't able to get it. Adrian Vargas in left field is going to scoop it up.
And that's anything but a moral victory right there. That's an actual victory. That's something that you can feel. And the first hit of the game for Johnson, they're trying to build some momentum. The first baseman, Ott, now at the plate, and he represents the go-ahead run. And I know a lot of people in the country are probably going to be keeping a close eye on Reinhardt, especially after they did what they did against Southeastern, winning a series against the number 1 ranked team in the country, a team that had not lost a series all year long. Being able to do that will surely bring more eyes to your product. And, of course, you're going to see some people who just are going to tune in to see what all the hype is about, and then some people saying, man, they can't be that good. It had to be a fluke. Reinhardt trying to prove that that's not the case. And then, of course, conversely, Johnson hoping to use this newfound platform that Reinhardt has built for themselves to make a statement on this sort of stage.
Okay, I don't want to get too, we're really pumping the gas right now. I don't want to push that to the next level. But I do feel like this university, this campus as a whole, is close to something really, really special. You look around and the amount of teams ranked in the top 25 that are pushing greatness is pretty unbelievable. You don't see that at major universities. You don't see that at this level. You don't see that at the Division III level. You're not seeing a lot of that anywhere. The schools that do it are built differently. The only school I can think of that just has been consistently really, really good all year, UNC Chapel Hill has been like that. Michigan State University's hockey team made the national playoff, and the basketball teams from both genders. But not a lot of schools are consistently top 25 and pushing the envelope in every sport, and you've got that here at Reinhardt.
And to that point, it is a very special time to be at Reinhardt, but for the people who've been around these programs, the people who have been in the community, for the people that have been on campus, it's not so much of at this point, not so much of a wow, we're here, we're able to make a name for ourselves. It's more of an expectation. There's an expectation from these programs, from these coaches, from the staff that these groups are capable of making these types of really spectacular moments happen. So with that being the expectation, you really feel the pressure to kind of live up to that. And you're seeing that really come to fruition now. Everybody just trying to live up to that standard.
Big point there. I'd like to add on that. What's it called? You talk about the expectation here. Totally agree with that. But it's what can they do when they get to that point where they're to that tournament, to the playoff, to the World Series? What can you go off of that? Can you build that momentum and drive into it and make that statement up until that point as well?
For sure. And that was something that me and Gabriel had a conversation with Coach Burton about yesterday, last week, kind of what it takes to take that next step. So this isn't really new for Reinhardt to have a lot of programs that are in contention, but that next step, as Taylor's referring to, being able to not just compete but also win at these multiple levels, and the baseball team doing everything they can to take that next step this season.
The 2-2 pitch. Ott chops this left side. It's down and fair as the runner advances not only into scoring position but down to third. He'll stay on the bag, and Ott is safe out at second. A great hit for a guy who's batting .200 this year. His 41st appearance at the plate, his 9th hit all season long.
And when you build up the kind of resume that Reinhardt has built, when you build up the type of reputation that they've created for themselves at this point in the year, yes, it can be very nice to have that sort of attention. but it also means that your opponents are paying special attention to you as well. You're going to get their best shot, and we're seeing that right now. The Johnson Royals coming out swinging here in the third.
Big props to Ah here on second base. You know, he fouled off 4 pitches in that at bat, as well as going into a full count. So we talk about going deep into the counts, taking Ben Medley deep into those accounts, and then being able to capitalize on those deep counts as well.
No outs, 2 on board. Big swing here by Isaac Lawson, the freshman outfielder. 12 hits this season for him, batting .250 for the Royals. Down to the count, 0-2. That one dropped down into the turf on the outside, gives him ball 1. Lawson and the Royals with none away. 2 in scoring position. Big swing looking to send him home instead. He'll cash out and go back to the dugout. Next at bat is Seth Presley, the senior infielder.
That was a nice bounce back at bat there from Ben Medley, doing a nice job securing the strikeout. Very critical. You don't want the ball to get in play with 2 runners in scoring position. I'm trying to repeat that success here with Johnson making their way back to the top of their order. I mean, again, like, it's so interesting. Reinhardt now, the top-ranked team in the AAC, not something we're used to seeing because of the dominance of Tennessee Wesleyan. Is this one a blooper that drops in the shallow right? 1 run scoring for Johnson, very nearly scoring another run.
So a big cutoff from Tucker Zadunic down to Nash Kroll. Nash Kroll was able to tend a laser back to third base and get that lead runner out, at third base, being kind of frisky on the bag, and Nash Kroll tossing it over there, getting the out. Now we're 2 outs with a runner on first.
That's huge. I mean, Reinhardt, the score now tied, but they're able to preserve that tie, not allowing Johnson to pull in front. Maybe that's something that can help them build some momentum going forward, especially picking up the second out here in the top of the third.
As a defense, we talk about how good our Reinhardt's defense is. They were able to help Ben Medley out. Gives up the first two to a big left field hit. So you got 2 runners on, and he's able to strike somebody out, gets a base hit, and then Nash Kroll's able to get that out at third and help Ben Medley out tremendously in this inning.
Two away. Count is 0-2. Travis Hovensiefken, the junior infielder, outfielder, 73rd appearance at the plate this season for him. Batting average of .306 as Medley's going to check in over at first.
But yeah, Reinhardt, a team ranked highly right now, the highest ranked team in their conference, and they've competed well against some of the best in the country. So other teams in their conference are going to try to get a piece of that, right? They want to try to ride this wave that Reinhardt has created. And there is no transitive property in sports. You can't say, well, if they beat them and we beat them, then we can compete. But you have to feel good about your chances to compete at that national level.
Ben Medley right here, big strikeout at the plate. You see the batter kind of like with a check swing there, he's able to get the out and preserve the lead here. Stay at 1-1.
That retires the side. We'll take a break and be back with more college baseball in just a moment. Southeast Sports Network. Welcome back to the campus of Reinhardt University and Ken Whitefield. Thanks for being with us. Thrilled to have you along for the ride. College Baseball Southeast Sports Network. Here's a look at the standings in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Reinhardt out in front, followed by Pikeville, Tennessee Wesleyan, Milligan. All receiving votes are ranked in the top 25. Reinhardt obviously out in front of all of that. Really good year for the Eagles all season long to this point. And here's a look at all three games we're going to play this weekend. This is the first of three, the second of three tomorrow at 1, and the final game starts at 4 o'clock. We'll have it all here on SCSN and our simulcast. Appreciate you being with us.
Great opportunity right here for Reinhardt. You got the top of your lineup, Jared Burney kicking us off. You know, he had that big triple in the very first at bat of the game. We'll see what he does here at the plate right now.
Bottom of the third, 1-1 the score. Burney chops it right side. He's in trouble over at first and gone. One away.
How about Hoffman again, not blinking? He is not afraid of this very potent Reinhardt lineup. Really making it very difficult on them. The Eagles only have 2 hits, and we're in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, I mentioned the pitching staff of Johnson has been efficient this season, so obviously the strength of schedule not quite as overwhelming as Reinhardt's Eagles, but the stats don't lie.
Stats don't lie, and strength of schedule, I don't want to say it's overrated, but at a point, you know, when you get to play so many games, right, and this is an idea that's fresh on my mind just because of the time of year it is, March Madness and all of that, and you see a lot of smaller schools with these really gaudy records, 32-3, 34-2, and you're like, man, like how can a team like Oakland beat Kentucky, right? Or how can this happen?
Listen, careful. All those guys transferred from tiny schools near my hometown. Like, careful.
But, I mean, the overarching point is that there's something to be said about doing it and seeing yourself do it, seeing yourself make things happen in live action, and you really start to believe that you are who you put on film.
Vargas, a race over to first, and does not win that race. 2 away for Reinhardt's Eagles. Really great hit by Vargas. Just couldn't quite outrun the ball in the glove there.
And they're putting a lot of good contact at the plate. They're putting it together, but Hoffman doing a nice job of keeping everything in front of his infield. And to their credit, they're making things happen as well. Outside of that minor error from Presley, we're seeing them really on one accord here in this game.
Dylan Lewis right on top of my key players lineup for Reinhardt's Eagles. He's a standout. Batting average, .435, 50 hits, 40 RBIs. Really impressive year. With 2 away, count as 1-1. Nobody on board for Lewis.
Also, Lewis pulling away in the Reinhardt Eagle home run race as well. Remember, it was a 3-way tie a few weeks ago between Lewis, Kroll, and Zadunik, all with 9 home runs. Lewis now at 11, so he has a rather uncomfortable 2 home run lead because we know what Zadunik and Kroll are capable of doing, but a lead nonetheless.
And you talk about it right there. That's a big shot by Dylan Lewis. And it is gone. There you go. Over the big fence in the left field.
Almost speaking it into existence.
Dylan Lewis goes a yard and adds 1 run to the board for Reinhardt's Eagles. I mean, that is just, nobody even moved. They knew it was gone.
It was a rocket off the bat, and I love being able to see those kinds of plays because you can really tell just how hard it was hit by the reaction by the defense. If they don't react, if you just see them turn their head, nobody moves, you know that it's gone.
Dylan Lewis didn't even move from the batter's box until the ball went over the fence, and then he started his nice jog on for that home run.
That was nuts. Should we warn SpaceX that ball is out there?
We need to.
Warn somebody.
Wow. Someone's going to find that. It might be on its way to Jasper, rolling down the hill near Pickens County right now.
Open your windows up. If you're in Atlanta, you might lose one.
I guess Lewis heard me talking about his home run lead being uncomfortable. Now it's up to 3.
Tucker Zadunik at the plate for Reinhardt's Eagles. He's a senior outfielder, 123rd at bat for him this year. Almost 50 hits, 33 RBIs.
That was a very big hit for Lewis to get that one. Only Reinhardt's third hit of the game, but very critical, allowing them to take the lead.
They'll keep the lead as they head into the fourth here on the Southeast Sports Network. We'll be back with more college baseball in just a moment. Welcome back to the campus of Reinhardt University. Thanks for being with us. College basketball from Waleska, Georgia. I said basketball. Baseball, we've got it all. We do have basketball sometimes, but not right now.
You got to change your mindset over a little bit.
I might be missing basketball a little too much. That's not good that I just said that. Trying to get the stream going on the Reinhardt University YouTube channel as well. Big thanks to LJ Telephone Company and ETC3 for carrying the game. All of our partners, you can always find us on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and Stream TV. Visit us, SESNsports.com. Click on the Watch Live tab or the How to Watch tab to find all the ways you can tune in. Quick bunt, that one. Going to keep him at the plate.
Now, speaking of how critical that home run was from Dylan Lewis, allowing Reinhardt to take the lead, but really pulling some momentum out of thin air. They weren't really making things happen well at the plate as a team. And to be in the place that they're in right now with a one-run advantage has to feel good. And part of being a team that feels like you can win going into May and being a real World Series contenders, you have to win in multiple ways.
Headed down to first, this one sailing towards the wall, and it's gone. The home run ball at Ken White Field.
And how was that for an answer? Johnson matching Lewis's solo shot with one of their own. Kiefer, the DH, making something happen at the plate, a leadoff home run. And just like that, the Royals tied things up, and they're proving that they're going to be a little bit more than a thorn in Reinhardt's side in this series this weekend.
The second home run of the year for Petey Kiefer, who goes yard over the right side wall. We're tied 2 apiece. Nice heads up there by Braden Taylor, the junior, ducking under that pitch. 31 appearances this season, 97 at-bats. This is his 98th. He's been good, almost a 300 batting average, 299.
As tantalizingly close to 300 as you can get as he gets struck there by Medley. Obviously, the last thing Coach Burton wants to see, you don't want to see Ben Medley get rattled out there.
Bryson Schoen, the sophomore, replacing him at the plate. He takes his place on the bag down at first. So 1 on board for Schoen with none away. Tied at 2 apiece in Waleska between the Eagles and the Royals in Appalachian Athletic Conference baseball action.
You really want to see Ben Medley here kind of dial back in and, pitch back with confidence like he did the first 2 innings.
Schoen's average this season, 252, 9 doubles, 3 home runs, a key component of the offense of the Royals. We'll see a lot of him throughout these 3 games. The 0-1 looking out to second, a play down on the bag, and he's gone.
Nice heads-up play there by Matty Maurer, Marcerio Allen, able to trail that one and get the tag, but unfortunately it seems like Kiefer is down, and unable to put any weight on that leg.
We'll give them just a second to check on him and be back with more college baseball on SCSN. Don't go anywhere.
Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back to Ken White Field and Waleska, Georgia. It's college baseball on SCSN. Had a man go down, looked to be all right, got off the field okay, and so we play on with one away. We're knotted up after a couple of really nice hits. Over the last couple of innings, we've had one run in both sides of the last inning, one run in the top half of this inning.
And speaking of Lewis with his solo home run in the previous inning.
Cut down at first, so 2 away for the Royals as they'll send their next to the plate, Nolan Cusey.
But to the point of him seemingly pulling momentum out of thin air for the Eagles, the Royals doing just enough to hang around and really make this uncomfortable for Reinhardt as this game goes.
Yeah, Reinhardt is on a 3-game win streak, including 2 against the #1 team in America. Southeastern University's Fire hadn't lost a series since April of 2022. Lost one to the Eagles on the road in Waleska, so Reinhardt is riding that high. I mean, they hit 5 home runs against Middle Georgia. What was it, 19-5? That's unreal.
And that's why them having 2 runs right now, if you're a fan of this team or if you've been following this team, you know that they're very capable of making something happen. Again, making lemons out of lemonade, able to score runs in bunches. We've seen it time and time again from this group.
Down to first, that'll retire the side as 3 are away in Waleska. We'll take a break with them and be back in just a moment on SCSN. Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia. Here's a look at the current top 25 of the latest poll. Southeastern Fire #1. Reinhardt upset them in that series, as we mentioned before the break. 2 wins to their 1. They won that first game 19-6, and I wasn't feeling great about it. And Reinhardt turned it on its head, won the second game 3-1. An explosion in game 3 looked really good. And a handful of AAC teams in the top 25 are receiving votes, as you can see. Appalachian Athletic Conference has been really competitive in baseball this spring.
Has been. It's going to be a very fun time as this season comes to a close and the conference tournament begins. It really feels like a lot of teams are going to be vying for postseason contention and trying to build their resumes.
That's why these games are so critical. You got these teams that are wanting to get those votes and wanting to push into that tournament. They're kind of like chomping at the bits to take down a team like Reinhardt University here, who's at the top of the AAC.
Of course, and I know I said there's no transitive property in sports, but Nash Kroll getting a lot of that one.
Bashes this left side. It's down along the wall as he's over the bag at first, headed to second in scoring position where he's safe. Nash Kroll revenge tour on Friday afternoon. He's already got a couple.
Absolutely.
His second double of the game. He gives that little Heisman look, get a little money sign, as he sits on second base.
Yeah, there's no transitive property in sports, but there's something to be said about having, and for Reinhardt, as big as it was for them to get a win against Southeastern, a series victory over them on their resume, for these teams, that's what Reinhardt represents. They want to be able to say, well, we got a series victory against Reinhardt, and show that to the committee and try to see themselves in the postseason.
Marcelo Allen at the plate here, who's another big hit, another big bat that that has shown that that he can put the ball in play, not only hit it out, but drive confidence, steal bases, and just give this Reinhardt offense like at the plate some help here. You want to see him put the ball in play, get those runs in bunches that we see constantly throughout the season.
One on board out at second. Kroll count as 1-1.
Now, absolutely a guy who probably coming into this season was not expected to pack the sort of offensive punch that he's given Reinhardt. But you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Burton riding the hot hand, continuing to give him consistent ABs.
Fouled off to the left side, counting out 1-2 for Marcelo Allen at the plate.
He won the AAC Player of the Week award 2 weeks ago now. And what did he hit? 3 home runs and like 7 RBIs or something crazy in a series?
Well over a 500 average in that series against KCU.
I think I was here with you at that game with KCU. He had two 3-run home runs in that one game, and just had the hot hand all day long.
And that's what's so special about this team, right? Because when you think about guys in their lineup, he's probably not the first name that comes to mind. You're going to think about Dylan Lewis, Tucker Zadunik, Nash Kroll, but he's absolutely not somebody that you can sniff at.
Allen gets a base hit down the left field line, and Nash Kroll is going to score, and Allen's going to take that double.
That's an easy one for Allen and Kroll. Really well struck by Allen as that one rattled down the chalk. Kroll coasts home and makes it a 1-run game again with Reinhardt out in front and in the driver's seat, 3-2 against the Royals. No outs. Allen on board out at second. Next man at the plate is a force as well. Number 11, Luis Mendoza, the shortstop. 0-for-1 today, but he's had a really good year for Reinhardt batting. Sophomore infielder. 24 RBIs, almost 30 hits this year for the Eagles.
The key part about where we are in this inning, no outs for Reinhardt with a man at second. And this is where, in a lot of their games this season, they start to turn the tide, start to build some momentum and create some distance between themselves and their opponents. Hoffman's been pitching so well for Johnson, but it would be an awful time for the bottom to fall out for him here.
Mendoza's average is through the roof, 355 this season. The 0-1 pitch, he's going to hold off, and that's strike 2.
Members in the crowd for Reinhardt definitely begging to differ there.
Right now, you really want to see Luis Mendoza here put the ball in play, see if he can move a runner, get the ball on the right side of the field, move that runner over, and just put Allen in the scoring position.
Chopped right side, and that Sales foul almost perfectly struck along the line.
And that's one of those plays that I wish the NAIA baseball had reviewed. It seemed like that was maybe on the right side of the line, but umpires and referees, one and the same. They see everything and you see nothing, so you just have to go along with it.
Down in the count, the 0-2 pitch, big swing, and that'll send him back to the dugout. One away for the Eagles of Reinhardt.
Bounce back strikeout there from Hoffman, trying to refocus and stop the bleeding a little bit for him and his team.
Reinhardt's got to be happy with this batting order. Next in the lineup is Matty Maurer. 72nd at bat this season for him. 24 hits, 14 RBIs. 338 average, and he would love to pick up an RBI with Allen out in scoring position on the bag at second. With one away, he's going to look back to second and hold off. Comes in low for a ball from Hoffman. With one away, here's the 1-0.
Both pitchers, as well as Hoffman, as well as Ben Medley, they have concentrated on painting those corners, and it just seems like this umpire behind the plate isn't really giving too much on those corners.
Chopped right side. This rolls towards the outfield, and Maurer is cut down at first, but the runner advances down to third. So Allen on the bag at third with two away in Waleska.
Runner advancing for the Eagles, very big, especially with a clutch bat like Lance Dockery coming up to the plate.
Clutch is right, batting average 260, but 26 hits, 20 RBIs this season for Dockery.
It seems like in nearly every big moment for the Eagles, Lance Dockery has been able to deliver.
With two away, takes a strike.
Infield fly.
Sailing still, and that'll retire the side in Waleska, Georgia with three away. One-run game between the Eagles and the Royals. We'll be back. Hello and welcome back to Waleska, Georgia, where it's a one-run game between the Eagles and the Royals. The Royals are going to go back on the offensive, back to the plate and try to shake things up and make some magic happen with the bat. Will they be able to do it? We'll find out in just a moment. Welcome back inside of the booth and to Ken White Field. I'm Gabriel Schrei, here with me a couple of football players. You guys have snuck over here into the baseball press box. What do you think of the baseball team this season?
I've been a fan of the baseball team. I mean, definitely a fan of everything that they're about. Coach Burton is building a great program, and we're really seeing his vision come to fruition this year.
Coach Burton changed a lot of his ways this season. You know, he's trying to change a culture, trying to start something new. You know, build on these seniors and trying to start a program. You know, build the culture that he's wanting. And this Reinhardt baseball team this season has come through for him, and he's come through for them. And they're top of the AAC, 11 ranked in NAIA. And right now you get to see them, see if they can put away a series against Johnson.
This is the junior Sanchez at the plate to lead off the top of the fifth. And he's going to go down to the bag and take his spot at first. Followed by Braden Ott. A couple of numbers I want you to be in tune with. So this team has scored 169 runs entering today, so now 171, including the 2 they put on the board. Their batting average, 259. On-base percentage, 381. 12 home runs entering the game. We talked a little bit about their pitching staff and how good they've been, but this one chopped, sailing into the outfield, and it's down. We've got a runner across second, headed to scoring position at third, and Ott will stay on the bag at first. So runners on the corners, as we'll see Isaac Lawson, the freshman outfielder, take his place at the plate.
Again, every time Reinhardt is able to take a little bit of momentum, Johnson just scurrying right back, right behind him, never going away, really making it uncomfortable for Reinhardt. And they're showing that this series is going to be a fight. Johnson's not going to go down without a fight.
I got to give it to Odd. That's his second hit of the game. Big hit, allowing to move runners. Just earlier in this last inning, you see him with a big hit down the left field line, able to push runners to second and third. Now he's had a runner on first. He's got a little, line drive into the right center. He's able to put a runner in scoring position with 0 outs.
The bunt, this one loose, rattles and rolls across the turf as Maurer holds off. So the count 0-2, way behind. Lawson battling here. The stat I was going to bring up to close out, talking about what Johnson does on this side of the ball, this side of an inning, 46 stolen bases entering today. 46.
And that speaks to their aggression as a group, and also the coaching staff kind of allowing them to be aggressive, giving them that kind of freedom.
Holds off, throwing back over to first, and they'll say he's safe as Ott gets back onto the bag.
That's Matty Maurer's aggression there. He's already thrown somebody out at second, so stealing a base here is really hard for them. Talk about the stolen bases, but with an arm like Matty Maurer at the plate, it's really hard, and you got to be confident. You got to have that good jump.
Presley, the lefty, at the plate. Maurer holds off, wanted to throw out to second, but the runner returns. Ott safe at first. Count 1-0.
And it's always an interesting kind of irony when you see strength against strength. A guy in Matty Maurer who is very smart, has the arm to get throwouts, and also a team comfortable with stealing.
Cuts down one over at second and turns the double at first to retire the side. We'll be back with more college baseball in Waleska, Georgia in just a moment.
Welcome to the new era of brand promotion. Are you trying to find a way to make a splash? We understand that advertising isn't what it used to be. Things have changed. Advertising is both more dynamic and more engaging. Schrei Media keeps your brand not just seen, but remembered. In a world where staying relevant is key, we are your partners in staying top of mind.
Welcome back to Ken White Field in Waleska, Georgia. It's college baseball on SCSN. Thanks for being with us. Eagles and Royals duking it out in a one-run matchup. Right now, the Eagles out in front, but it's been a close one. How does Johnson get in control and seize this one and roll ahead out into the lead?
You got to continue to put the ball in play. You see the hot hands like Ott. You got Hoffman on the mound and doing just a great job of just allowing Reinhardt to put the ball in play and to get those easy outs and to keep this game, within arm's reach. We talk about how Reinhardt gets those those runs in bunches, and you would hate to see that right now. Bottom of the fifth for them to get one of those big innings where they score in bunches, and if Hoffman can do that and have the defense of Johnson do that in the field, you keep this game in arm reach.
They'll be looking for a spark from number 10 at the plate. Bernie, the leadoff hitter, 1 for 2 today, a righty. Third baseman, he's been electric all season for Reinhardt.
And electric is absolutely the right adjective to describe what Jared Burney has been, not just this season, but throughout his career as a Reinhardt Eagle.
Jared Burney is probably one of my favorite players, for Reinhardt, this whole season, just how aggressive he is at the plate. He knows what pitch he's looking for. He knows where he wants that ball to be. And, being able to put that ball in play, you see him smiling at the plate because he had the ball. It looked like he felt like it slid probably near his shirt, wanted that, that base.
Goes to the bunt, running down the chalk, and makes it down to the bag in time. What a play.
I think we're calling foul ball there.
Yeah, I think so too. I was hoping I was wrong.
Man.
That was a nice attempt, that small ball there from Jared Burney, though, trying to find his way on first.
Burney's averaged just over 330 this season, 42 hits entering the weekend for Reinhardt. He's down on the count 1-2 as Hoffman is looking to send him back to the dugout. Chopped right side. This time we're going to get a play at the bag, and he's cut down, 1 away. Never know, they might bring him back. They might say that was foul. No, I'm just kidding. That was clearly foul, the first one.
This is a good job by Hoffman here. He's able to, to jam Burney up on the hands and get an easy out. And I think that's a sentiment to him, in this pitching staff, at Johnson.
And to his credit, Reinhardt hasn't been able to go on one of their patented runs. They haven't been able to pick up momentum. Anytime they're able to score a run, that's all it's been. It's just one.
Vargas sends this into the center, still sailing, and 2 away. Really nice play out in the center field by Johnson.
Major hitter coming to the plate now here, Dylan Lewis. We just saw, a couple of innings ago of that shot that just, had everybody stunned. Nobody moved. Everybody just watched it go and how far it went. Probably still sailing right now, but we'll see what he does here at the plate now.
Just got a call from Lafayette, Georgia. That ball was found at Jeff Suttle Field down behind the high school.
How many miles away from Waleska?
About 100? No, I don't know. I don't even know how far Lafayette is, really.
Oh, no. If you told me that, I'd definitely believe you. That was a moonshot.
We mentioned his numbers before he got to work last time at the plate, and this time it's sailing foul on him. Same spot on the field. He cranked that home run. His numbers are just off the charts. A batting average of almost 500 this season. 50 hits, 40 RBIs entering the day. Make it 51 now.
Can't forget those 12 home runs that he's accumulated now.
Pulled off on that, nearly hit with a pitch. Count is 2-1 with 2 away. Hoffman hoping to retire the side. Zipped in. Lewis goes foul into the evergreens off to our right. With 2 away, the 2-2. Lewis hangs back, and that fills our count.
Matchup between Hoffman and Lewis may go a long way towards deciding the game. We've seen them on multiple occasions in this one.
Payoff pitch, chopped left side, rattling towards the outfield. He dropped it, and Lewis is safe over at first.
That's the second such error that we've seen from Johnson. Just guys in the infield not being completely locked in, trying to do too much too fast.
Tucker Zadunik next to the plate, a senior. 50 hits, almost 35 RBIs. With 2 away and a runner on board, this one between the legs. Play out at second, and Lewis couldn't make it, so that retires the side, and we'll go to the next half inning on SCSN. Don't go anywhere. 1-run game, Eagles out in front.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live. All from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
Welcome back into the press box, and alongside the field at Ken Whitefield, Waleska, Georgia College Baseball, Appalachian Athletic Conference action on SCSN. We've got it all. Thrilled to have you along with us. Here's a look at our standings in the AAC. Right on top, number 1, Reinhardt University Eagles, followed by Pikeville, Tennessee Wesleyan, and Milligan. All receiving votes are ranked in the top 25 in the country. Reinhardt just upset number 1, so they're hoping to really climb the poll in the next edition of it.
Big first pitch strike there by Ben Medley.
Coach Burton opted to leave him in the game, really showcasing the type of confidence he has in Medley. And again, there have been times this year where he has looked like one of the very best in this conference.
1-1. Held off. Maurer is hit with it. Hopefully he's all right.
That was another guy, too, the backstop for Reinhardt. Seems like every game he's getting a little nicked up, dinged up. I think he may have caught one in area 51 here.
It's an area a man doesn't want to get hit there.
Absolutely.
It was a big check swing by the hitter, though. Like maybe Matty, just lost it. Maybe if he tipped it, come off the bat. CNS 1 and 2 looked like he probably tipped it and it came off the bat.
Those interactions are always interesting between him and Coach Burton. Seems like Coach Burton is always saying, hey, you're good. And, Matty just kind of shakes it off, and he's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then Coach Burton gives him a pat on the chest and tells him to stay in.
Not you calling Area 51.
That ruined me. I'm gonna need a. We gotta take a commercial break for that. Woo, that was cooked right inside. Count is full.
The land where the sun doesn't shine.
I know. The payoff pitch, chopped, staying alive as he goes foul back into the parking lot.
this count being full here. Johnson really wanting to build some momentum.
Blasted deep right towards the wall, and we've got one away in the top of the sixth. Travis Hobbins-Siefken got the barrel of the bat on that. Looking good, but not quite enough power behind it as that one comes down right into the glove of the outfielder. With one away, we're going to get a bunt down along the chalk. Play over at first, make it 2.
That was a nice job by Medley to get track of that one and make a nice throw to first.
So Kiefer back to the dugout. Taylor, the third baseman, to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Big swing, strike 1 with 2 away. We'll have both games tomorrow as well. Be sure to join us, SCSN. All your favorite ways to watch. If you're wondering where else you can find the game, if you have a Fire TV, you can download the Southeast Sports Network app. It's probably the easiest way to watch. You can watch it right on SCSNsports.com. You can also go find all the ways to watch, SCSNsports.com/how to watch. And everything's listed right there with links. It's all free. Fouls off. So now the count is 2-2 with 2 away. Going down to first. Count remains 2-2. So we were here during the Southeastern Series. I don't know if it was game 2 or 3. And Coach Miller shows up with food and just starts feeding Lorenzo in the middle of the game. And if you're just joining us, you don't know the context that these guys both play football here at Reinhardt.
I don't really appreciate the way that she said that. I mean, not just feeding me, you know. He offered some food, you know. I hadn't eaten that day.
I didn't mean it like that. I just love that he came over here. Like that's a good coach. That's a good leader. Coming out and looking out for you. And so I wanted your opinion on what playing for Coach Miller's like. I think I might have just made an enemy. Chopped left side, play over at first, and that'll retire the side. We can fight it out during the break. We'll be right back in Waleska, Georgia. Welcome back to Ken White Field, Waleska, Georgia. Beautiful, sunshiny day for college baseball. It's a one-run game. Reinhardt's Eagles are out in front, 3-2 against the Royals of Johnson University. Gabriel, Taylor, Lorenzo in the booth. 3 guys bringing you all the action. Thrilled to have you along with us for it. Before the break, we were talking about Coach Miller coming over and feeding Lorenzo a sandwich during one of our games, the doubleheader against Southeastern over last weekend. And I said, that's a great coach. That was a genuine compliment, and I feel like this is becoming more of a joke.
No,
we talk about it.
That's a really good point, though. There's not a lot of coaches who would be willing to go out of their way to do something like that. So definitely somebody that, when you really need something, you feel like you can count on. So absolutely a lot of respect to Coach Miller, and definitely glad to be a part of the program, the football program here at Reinhardt University. But the feeding me part is a little bit of a stretch.
Imagine being in the middle of that conversation. I got Lorenzo to my right, I got Gabriel to my left, and sitting right in the middle of that.
Well, then it made me think of another story, because I know he went to Virginia Tech, and I met somebody who went to Virginia Tech this week. I'm like, oh, I know somebody who played football there. Just casually brought it up. But the context of the story is that we were buying a life jacket for my French bulldog off Facebook Marketplace, and that's how we met this guy. So we got to stop telling stories. They're all dead ends.
And a 2-2.
Right back to
blasted into the middle, and he's gone, one away in the bottom of the 6th.
Oh, I got another one for you. Nah, I'm just playing.
The life jacket does look good on the French bulldog, if you're wondering.
Hey, man, I got 2 dogs of myself that both wear life jackets when we go, so I know the feeling of shopping.
I should know this. Are you originally from this area, right around here?
I am not. I'm from a small town right outside of Savannah, Georgia. So take about 25 minutes from downtown Savannah. Good old Guyton.
So all of those jokes and stories, just to ask, what's it like playing for Coach Miller? And you transferred here from Brevard. What's the level of football like in your mind?
Different. Very different. I came from a smaller program than this. Brevard College, a program where really didn't feel together. Here at Reinhardt, you definitely feel how together the team is, how together the coaches are. Everybody wants what's best for everybody. One of our big mottos is want for yourself, want for your brother what you want for yourself. And that especially this, since the end of last season to now, that has been the biggest thing for our program is to come together and build those bonds. And like right now, we finished our spring football already, and had our spring game. And we do like team competitions where the captain, what we call the players' council, get together. We draft teams, and we're able to.
Kroll zips this into the outfield, and he's on board over at first with one away.
Back when I was saying, we were able to draft teams. Lorenzo is a captain. I'm a captain. We're a part of the players' council where we kind of make the decisions of the team. Of how we're going to deal with certain situations, as well as leadership. Meetings and stuff like that, and building the bond has been our biggest thing this spring, is to come together as a team itself.
I see that, and I don't just see that with the football team. I see that on campus with all the programs. There's a sense of togetherness and community, and just it feels like everybody's doing their part and rowing the ship, and it's really cool. This is Allen, who's going to blast it right side, sailing along the chalk and off the top of the storage building.
And Allen, he wanted that one to be fair. He loves that right field line, that right field fence.
Would you have really been surprised to see that one stay fair with the way that he's played over the last few weeks?
Absolutely not. The baddest he's had. What's cool about him though is that I didn't know that I found out a couple weeks ago is he's also a switch hitter. So he hits right-handed, he hits left-handed. It doesn't matter. He's still gonna put the ball in play, and he's still gonna be a big bat at the play, whether he's hitting right-handed or he's hitting left-handed.
And just another versatile weapon that Coach Burton has at his disposal as this season progresses.
His average 339 over the course of this season as he gets just a little piece of that. He'll stay alive as Hoffman coming down to talk to the ump. Count is 0-2. One away. Kroll on board over at first from Waleska, Georgia. Thanks for being with us. Pretty good turnout for a Friday night. It's kind of chilly.
It is, and we spoke about this a month ago. You said at one point, man, is it feeling like spring? And, I got to tell you, it's April. I still don't really get the spring vibes.
Chopped right side, rattling towards the outfield, and Allen is cut down over at first. 2 away, but Kroll advances into scoring position, and he's on the bag at second.
With another guy with a clutch bat, Luis Mendoza coming up to the plate.
Seemed to having an off day today. We definitely want to see how he goes about this bat and see if he's able to bounce back, put the ball in play.
That's a tough follow-up for Hoffman, the pitcher, on top of the mound. You got to go from one guy with a 329 average, now Luis Mendoza, 355 average, 27 hits this season, 24 RBIs.
That just shows you how strong this Reinhardt, this offense can be. We talk about the defense all the time, Jarrett Burney and the infielders, but now you got these guys at the plate who are, just big at bats, and that's just the strength that, that Burton has put together for this Reinhardt team.
One on board, 2 away. The 1-0 pitch is popped up right side. Looks like it's going to stay fair, and that'll retire the side. 3 away. We'll flip the side of the inning and be back with more college baseball on the Southeast Sports Network. Eagles lead by 1 run. Welcome back to Ken White Field and Waleska, Georgia. Thanks for being with us. College baseball, Southeast Sports Network. Gabriel Fry, Lorenzo Robinson here. And it's a 1-run game as we flip the side of the inning for these two. Looking sharp, looking good. It's now the top of the 7th. Time is kind of cutting short for these two programs. Any expectations on what we'll see in these last 2 innings? Both of these teams feel like a wild card at this point to me, but
conventional wisdom will tell you that Reinhardt is going to find a way to get out of this game, but with the way that Johnson has played, again, doing just enough just to hang around, being a thorn in Reinhardt's side, and they're only 1 run down, so they're a few plays away from potentially not only tying the game, but pulling out in front and making things really interesting here.
Counts 1-0. Bryson Schoen at the plate. Ben Medley, 72 pitches. That's foul.
You have to give Medley a lot of credit. We're looking at Reinhardt right now. Only 3 runs on the board. But Medley doing a nice job of keeping his team in this one.
That was strike 2. Count is 1-2. Popped left side, sailing towards the wall, and this one escapes the field out to the road. We're tied, 3 runs apiece in Waleska, Georgia.
And when you're down by just 1 run, you are literally only 1 play from your entire fortunes changing around. Right there, we see yet again Johnson able to get things square with the Eagles. They just cannot shake the Royals here at Ken White Field.
unreal hit, and it ties us at 3 runs apiece with none away in the top of the 7th as this one trends foul. Nolan Cusey 0 for 2 at the plate in his appearances today. That was strike 1. This time it drops down for him, a little rope into the outfield. He's going to be across the bag at first and stay safe there.
Johnson continuing their forward momentum. It's already a tie ball game now, trying to pull out in front. And they've matched the Eagles not just on the scoreboard, but also in the hit department. 7 hits on both sides.
Now we've got Cameju Sanchez, the junior catcher. Suffers strike 1. Count is 0-1. Top of the 7th, Bryson Schoen, the sophomore, cranked a home run to get this inning started and tie us at 3 runs apiece at Ken White Field, Waleska, Georgia on SCSN College Baseball. Well, that's kind of what I was looking for. You know, both of these teams feel like a wild card this season as this one goes left side. We've got a runner across second, headed down to third, and he's going to stay and be safe as we'll have 2 in scoring position for the Royals of Johnson University, who are looking and threatening to snap a 3-game win streak by Reinhardt's Eagles.
2 in scoring position and still no outs on the board. A golden chance here to take the lead against a team in Reinhardt that's playing as well as anyone in the country. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better win for the Royals this season if they can pull it off.
We'll have a meeting on top of the mound for Medley, who's been throwing heat all day.
In the rare players-only meeting, we don't see Coach Burton making his way to the mound to talk to Medley. We see his teammates having a conversation with him. And you have to wonder if there's maybe something that they may be doing wrong in the field or something that they can try to tighten up or something strategic that they can do, because it seems like Johnson is kind of figuring things out here.
We miss Taylor. That was great having him.
Absolutely. Coming off of an all-conference season as our starting quarterback and looking for more great things from him, not just on the field, but off the field as well.
That was definitely a disappointing exit from the broadcast booth. I was sorry to see that after such a, I don't want to say it was magical. That sounds a little too Disney, but it was a pretty excellent season. Chopped left side. This one gets down and stays fair. We've got a runner coming home. That extends the lead to 1 for the Johnson Royals as they're out in front in Waleska.
So in a situation like that, the biggest thing you want to do is you want to put it in play and you want to hit it far. You want to hit it hard. And both of those things happening there, allowing the Royals to pull out in front. And now it's going to be a Coach Burton mound visit.
Yeah, and Burton not happy with the ump. Going to come out on top of the mound and talk things out. Burton has been as good as anyone in the country this year. I really enjoyed he came and spoke with us after Game 3 in the big upset. Spent about 10 minutes talking to him. Unusually long interview, but didn't feel like it, did it? That was a great interview and great conversation, and excited just to get to spend some time with him after that big win for sure.
Absolutely, and you can really feel the vibe, not just from him, but when you just step around, you step into the building and you're around baseball players, you're around their coaches, they feel like this year is different. There's something to be said about having momentum, and it's always an often discussed thing. Is momentum real? Is it imagined? But you can definitely tell that Reinhardt feels like they have momentum on their side and in their favor.
There's a look at the Appalachian Athletic Conference standings. Reinhardt out in front, followed by Pikeville, Tennessee Wesleyan, Milligan University,
Brett Allen.
And here's a look at our schedule this weekend between these two programs. This is the first of three. We'll have both games on Southeast Sports Network tomorrow. Game 1, 1 o'clock. Game 2 scheduled for 4. Going to be a really good series between these two. And obviously Game 1, giving you a look at just how exciting this will be. It's been a really good one. There's Reinhardt's last 4 and their upcoming 4. Doubleheaders are grouped together in the upcoming games. You can see they'll have one against Bryan College. And here's a look at the upcoming schedule for Johnson's Royals. Coming off of a loss, before that they were on a great winning streak. Played 3 against Truett McConnell and dropped the final game of that series. So a pitching change for the Eagles of Reinhardt.
They're putting in a guy in Brett Allen who has arguably been, and I mean there probably isn't an argument that he's probably been their most consistent arm coming out of the bullpen this season. We've seen him on multiple occasions come in short order and really tighten the screws for the Eagles. So it's no surprise to see Coach Burton trusting him in this big spot with his team trailing by a run.
Brett Allen is a junior right-handed pitcher. Notches a strike right away as he comes in. Brett Allen's had a really good career playing college baseball stateside. Big swing here. That's strike 2. Count is 0-2. Allen's originally from Newcastle, Australia. Oh, 2 pitch is zipped in, and that'll cash him out. 2 away.
Comes right out of the bullpen and comes up with a huge strikeout. And again, we're used to seeing that from Brett Allen. We've seen it from him all season long.
Number 6, Seth Pressley.
80 degrees in Newey today, where Brett Allen is originally from. It's also 3 a.m. there. Diving play, can't get on it. Safe down on the bag at first. 1 on board with 2 away as he crosses the plate for the run and extends the lead of the Royals of Johnson. What a play by Johnson University.
The Royals have all the momentum on their side right now. Currently 3 runs and counting here in the top of the 7th. And they were just hanging around, staying attached to Reinhardt's hip, and right now they're starting to capitalize on some of these chances.
Travis Hobbinsiefken at the plate, a junior infielder, outfielder. 22 hits this year, batting average of .306. Now would be a huge time to plant one right on the ball. 2 away, 1 on board. Check in over at the bag. At first they got him, and that retires the side. Really nice play by Reinhardt's Eagles. We'll take a break and be back the other half of this inning on SESN.
Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back to Reinhardt University, Ken White Field, college baseball, Southeast Sports Network. Bottom of the 7th coming now. The Reinhardt Eagles just allowed a slew of runs, 3 in the top half of the inning. They're going to look to get them all back in short order as we're into the closing stages of this one. Lorenzo, obviously this team capable of exploding for as many runs as you can imagine right down the stretch. Will it happen in this game? Why or why not?
Well, I spoke a little bit about this when Reinhardt played Southeastern. When Reinhardt went up big, we know that Southeastern is capable of exploding, capable of putting up runs in bunches, but there's a difference between being capable of doing something and then being forced to do something. So Reinhardt is starting to enter that real gray area of now they really need to string some runs together if they're going to have a chance to win this game, especially with Johnson seemingly picking up a lot of momentum at the plate in that previous inning.
It's a 2-run game. Matty Maurer, the catcher at the plate. He's been great this season batting, but today 0 for 1.
It's not a surprise to see Johnson continuing to go with Hoffman here. He's handled one of the most talented lineups in the country very admirably. He has not been afraid. He's going right at these Eagles. Made them very uncomfortable in the box.
The 3-0 pitch. Strike one. Count is 3-1. Reinhardt's Eagles 50 home runs this season. They would sure love to go yard in the late stages of this. They've scored runs in bunches all year long as now the count is full for Matty Maurer.
And again, we know what they're capable of, but now really needing a spark here.
Maurer pulls up. That'll walk him down to first. So 1 on board for the Eagles of Reinhardt University as they'll go to the next man in the batting order. This will be our first look at him today, Jamel Ruckert. And he's been electric this year at the plate for Reinhardt University. Senior outfielder, 32 hits. On base percentage of almost 55. Looks like we've got Doyle pinch running over on first. Including the 3 in this game, 287 runs scored this year for Reinhardt's Eagles. That's in just 34 games.
And with Jamel Ruckert in the game right now, we've seen him multiple times this season play some small ball, try to get a grounder to leak into the outfield or go for a bunt attempt. Expect Ruckert to try to do the same here, especially with the speed of Parker Doyle already at first.
This skiffs off the turf.
Remember, he came up with a huge bunt in that series, clinching victory against Southeastern.
Count is 1-1 as this is fouled off.
And that's an unfortunate hack from Ruckert, right? You maybe just want to see that one breeze past you, especially when Parker Doyle is making his way from first to second. Now, in the batter's box, there's no way you can see that happening, but definitely an unfortunate one there.
Doyle on the bag at first. Ruckert at the plate at bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Blasted right side and unreal. They turn the double. Ruckert can't believe it.
And that one was hit right into Ott's hands, and Ott making plays at the plate and then right there in the field.
Ruckert had the exact right reaction. He just stood there and looked. He couldn't believe it.
Like, what can you do? What can you do?
What do you do better than that? So we'll go back to the top of the batting order. This is Bernie, 1 for 3 today. The righty's been really efficient this season, batting average of 33. Chopped this one across the infield, and the play over at first. He's out. That'll retire the side. We'll go to the 8th. Baseball will be back, SCSN. Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia, and Ken White Field, where it's a two-run game. Johnson's Royals in the driver's seat in the lead and looking to wrap things up in game 1 of 3. We're coming into the top of the 8th where the Royals lead 5-3 over the Eagles of Reinhardt University. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson here with me. Lorenzo, your thoughts on this 8th inning?
Reinhardt really needs to try to build some momentum here, but it starts in the top of this inning. Brett Allen needing to do his part to try to hold this Johnson lineup at bay. Eagles needing to tighten the screws defensively and then going from there.
Travis Hoffenskeen first at the plate for the Royals in the top of the 8th. Ball 1. Lasered that inside, right towards the outfield, and he's away at first. 1 down.
Nice play there by Mendoza. And again, I say the best fielders make the routine look easy. And you say, wow, it's routine. It's supposed to look easy, but we've already seen multiple occasions of those routine plays going awry. So anytime you're able to see the routine look easy, you know that you're dealing with a player that is very effective in the field.
Hovensiefken fouled at the plate. Petey Kiefer, he's 1 for 3. With 1 away, here's the 0-1. Popped up left side, trending foul. Count is 1-1. This one got a piece of it for strike 2. Right side, it goes foul. He stays alive. They dropped that ball off the board. I thought that might have been a mistake. Counts 0-2.
At first glance, it may have seemed that way, but seems very intentional.
And the 0-2 is low for the ball. With 1 away in the top of the 8th, Johnson Royals leading by 2 runs over number 11 Reinhardt University. The 1-2 pitch by Brett Allen. Chopped right towards the mound. Allen scoops it up and easy play at the bag. 2 away.
You like the way that Brett Allen has looked on the mound. He's been very calm, cool, and collected. Gave up that run in the previous inning, but has not allowed that to shake him at all here in the 8th. And this is the Brett Allen that we're used to seeing.
Kiefer's replaced at the plate by Taylor, who's 0 for 2 in this game. The righty this time, blasted right side towards the outfield, and nice play by Brett Allen to retire the side. We'll be back with more college baseball just a moment on SCSN. Welcome back to Ken White Field in Molesca, Georgia. Bottom of the 8th coming now. Reinhardt's Eagles trailing by 2 runs to the Royals of Johnson in Appalachian Athletic Conference play. This is going to be a tough one to dig out of for Reinhardt's Eagles. Obviously, they're more than capable of doing it. Before we get into this half of the inning, here's a look at the top 25. This poll was released right before Reinhardt upset number 1 Southeastern University. So Reinhardt 11, SCU number 1. And as you look through the poll, you'll see there's a few Appalachian Athletic Conference teams, whether they're ranked or not, at least receiving votes in the top 25 in the nation. So exciting stuff for AAC baseball. We're going down the stretch. Bottom of the 8th is now in a 2-run game. 5-3 Royals lead over the Eagles on SCSN. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson. Quick thoughts before this half of the inning.
They did what they were supposed to do in the top of this inning. We saw Brett Allen go 1-2-3 against Johnson's lineup. The fielding was superb. So defensively, they held up their end of the bargain. Now, can the bats come to play for Reinhardt with 6 outs remaining in this game?
This is Adrian Vargas. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Vargas is followed by the senior batter, the best on the team for Reinhardt, one of the best in the country. Batting almost 450, it's Dylan Lewis. 50 hits, 40 RBIs entering the weekend. His slugging percentage is .861. The 2-0.
And I caution against saying that a loss here would be embarrassing because Johnson's a team with a winning record. They're a team with a pulse. They are a talented group. They have guys very capable of making things happen, but a team that you've never lost to in conference play, it would be a bit of a letdown for you to drop one against them. Still a chance to win the series, but you want to try to continue to build that momentum that you've built, especially off the heels of that huge series victory against Southeastern.
Vargas takes his place on board over at first as we go down the batting order to Lewis. Before we get a look at him, I mentioned his great batting percentage. Here's a look at the conference standings in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Johnson's no joke. They're right in there, middle of the pack. 17 wins entering this weekend, and they would love to take one from the iron hot, scalding hot Reinhardt University Eagles on the road in Molesca.
And a huge resume building chance for them, like not just being able to potentially get one win, but what if they find a way to win this series? So that's a notch under their belt, and then a strong showing in the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament can go a long way towards them potentially finding an invite to the NAIA opening round.
2-run game, 5-3. Strike one. We've got a Mustang and a helicopter coming by, if you can hear that on air. Quick check-in over at first. Lewis.
Johnson dugout was not very happy about that call. They seemed convinced that he went.
Count is 1-1. Big swing for strike two.
Remember I said earlier that the matchup between Hoffman and Lewis will go a long way towards deciding the game. Even though there's still 6 outs on the board for Reinhardt, this feels like a major inflection point in this one.
Lewis is 2 for 3 today. The 1-2 pitch chopped right towards the mound. He's on it. Hoffman throws to first and cuts him down.
So Hoffman able to get Lewis out, but Kilgore making his way to second base.
And that's not a huge deal for Reinhardt, but it's definitely a little consolation in a game so dictated by emotion, momentum, and close plays. When it's been this tight, this long, you really need to get that guy out in scoring position, and they do. We'll have a meeting on top of the mound for these guys. And a quick look at who's next in the order. It's Zdunek, the right fielder. The lefty is 0 for 3 today. Do you want to let Hoffman finish here, or is it time to pull him?
If you're the coach, you really just have to get a gauge of his mindset and his thought process when you have a conversation with him. Obviously, every player wants to finish what they started. They want to try to get that complete game. That's a notch under your belt, but you also have to try to weigh the health options as well. You don't want to overwork him because there's still some baseball left to play.
Here's a look at the Johnson Royals as a team. 17 wins, 381 on-base percentage, 46 stolen bases, as I mentioned. That definitely could be something to keep an eye on as we go down the stretch. This is really just a very close matchup between these two. And before we get Zdunek going to bat, here's a look at the Eagles. 23 wins, number 11 in the country, 330 batting average, and entered the day with 49 home runs. Really impressive stuff.
Of course, none other than Dylan Lewis hitting the golden home run for the Eagles, their 50th of the season.
With one away. Zdunek holds off.
Sedunek's been quiet in this one. He's been quiet. Reinhardt hoping for a turning point here.
Kilgore's on second, one away. This is the 1-0 pitch. Tucker takes a big swing for strike one. .385 this season, almost 50 hits. Here's the 1-1.
And as Hoffman's starting to run out of gas here, and if he's starting to run out of gas, can Reinhardt take advantage before a pitching change occurs?
Here's the 2-1 with one away. Low for ball three for Hoffman.
And if you're the coach for Johnson, you're probably hoping that he walks Zdunek. You don't want to hang one near the plate. You're hoping that he gets the walk, and then you're likely going to make that change.
One on board, one away. Kilgore out at second. Here's the 3-1. It's low, and that walks him down to first. So Zdunek on board at first. Kilgore out at second. Zdunek followed by Nash Kroll. Kroll was hit in the face with a 100-mile-an-hour pitch last weekend. It went viral. Bat Flip Probs, great Instagram account. He wanted to go take his place on base over at first. We talked a lot about that in the early stages of this one.
He did. And again, speaking to the nature of Nash Kroll, he's a warrior. He's a guy who's not going to go down easy. And I'm sure if they would have let him continue to play in that game, he could have. And it's just great to see him back out there, not just out there for the Eagles, but playing well. I mean, what do you do for an encore after going viral on social media? You go 3 for 3.
Yeah, hot today, 3 for 3. First baseman is a key power hitter for Reinhardt's Eagles. His average this season, 344. As Hoffman is going to head to the dugout and take a break, and we'll get a replacement coming from the bullpen.
And absolutely figured that was going to be the way that this one went. And like I said, really hoping that he walked Tucker Zdunek right there, right? You don't want to hang one around the plate for him because you know how dangerous he is. So Not the worst thing that could have happened for Johnson, but for Reinhardt, two men who are in position to try to make something happen. One guy at first, one guy at second.
This is Colby Reynolds, a sophomore right-handed pitcher. His 11th game he's appeared in this season. He's got to win. Almost 32 innings pitched as he enters this one against the Reinhardt Eagles. He's allowed 22 runs. Recorded 30 Ks in 32 innings, so that's pretty good. And he would love to pick up a couple down the stretch as we're into the bottom of the 8th in Waleska between number 11 Reinhardt and conference rival Johnson University on SCSN.
And do you think the Royals feel the urgency in this game? Reynolds is a guy who has pitched for the third most amount of innings for them this season. He started the third most amount of games, so he's a guy who has typically started in these situations. And he's the one that they bring out of the bullpen trying to secure this victory. You can tell that Johnson really feels the weight of this game, especially with the lead and it being so late. Reinhardt, just 5 outs left to try to make something happen. With a guy like Nash Kroll at the plate, with one swing of a bat, all of your momentum can just completely disappear.
Yeah, I think if you're Johnson, you really want to win this first one. Any chance of sweeping the series, I feel like, has to start with a win on day one. I said sweeping, I mean taking the series. Any chance of that, you got to start with a win here in this first game. That's just how it feels to me, and I think that's my only takeaway from it. Without that, I just think Reinhardt's going to come back reloaded tomorrow. Feeling it again on a Saturday doubleheader. You've got him off balance late here, bottom of the 8th with one away. Finish strong. Go to the bell.
And you just have to feel like that gives you momentum as well, to know that you can climb that mountain and beat that team. You come and you wake up out of your bed on that Saturday morning with a renewed sense of energy as well. Like, hey, we did it one time. Let's go do it again. Of course, you don't come this far just to come this far. You come this far to get over the mountain.
Kroll in danger over at first. He's back, so Kroll is away. 2 down for Reinhardt's Eagles. But both runners stay on board and one in scoring position for Reinhardt.
And football is commonly referred to as the game of inches, but we've seen that be the case multiple times in this one. That ball well hit by Jamel Rookert in the previous inning goes right into the waiting glove of Ott. And then this one, right off the bat of Nash Kroll, it seemed very well hit, and Presley having to go full extension to get that one from Kroll.
1 for 3 today, the one-time AAC Player of the Week, a .339 batting average. It's the junior Allen. He's got 2 away and 2 on board. Holding off, and that's a strike.
It would be very disappointing. The Eagles down by 2 runs to leave 2 men stranded. At least want to try to get 1 on the board and tighten things up for you in the 9th inning.
2-run game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Allen sends that foul.
And this is exactly where Reynolds wanted to be. Ahead on the count, 0-2. Pretty much any pitch at his disposal. We'll see how aggressive Allen will be at the plate. Normally in these situations, these 0-2 counts, he has been very aggressive.
The 0-2 pitch is blasted, and he's cut down over at first to retire the side in Waleska. We'll take a break with him and be back with more college baseball in just a moment. The 9th inning is now.
Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back. Top of the ninth is now for Reinhardt and Johnson. Game 1 of 3 in this conference matchup. It's a 2-run game, 5-3 Johnson Royals lead. This is their last chance to pad it, to push this out of reach against the Eagles. They've scored 5. Can they score more? Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson. Quick thoughts from you, Lorenzo?
Brett Allen remaining on the mound. Not a surprise to see Coach Burton trust him in this big spot.
This is shown 1 for 3, really important to the offensive attack of Johnson today. They would love to lean on him for one more right here.
And Johnson scored 5 runs. They have 9 hits on the board, but you have to feel like pitching-wise, Reinhardt hasn't done that bad. They've pretty much done their job. We're not used to seeing this Eagle ball club only with 3 runs entering the top of the 9th inning.
The 0-2 pitch. Chopped right side along the edge of the infield, and a nice play by Brett Allen as he tags the bag and retires 1. QC's next to the plate. QC 1 for 3 today as well. He's a lefty shortstop. With 1 away, QC suffers strike 1. QC is hit with a pitch. He'll take his place on the bag over at first.
And that's something you can't do. Already trailing by 2 runs. You nearly have to play perfect baseball from here on out just to have a chance to win this game. Mistakes like that can be absolutely gut-wrenching for you when you're trying to make a comeback.
This is Sanchez. He's 2 for 3. The righty blasts this one left side over to third. We've got a runner in scoring position, and it looks like he's going to come home. He does. Headed for the plate. He's across. It's 6-3 Johnson Royals. And we've got another in scoring position over on third with 1 away in the top of the 9th.
Just a big-time insurance run there from Johnson scoring. And you got to give them a lot of credit. They've come right into Ken White Field, and you can feel their energy at the beginning of this game. They were not going to be intimidated by the setting. They were not going to be intimidated by playing against the number 11 team in the country. They've come right in, and they have taken it straight at the Eagles. Reinhardt now down by 3 runs, and they're going to need to try to get a handle on this one. They can't let this one get too far away from them. They want to give themselves as much of a chance as they possibly can have when this one shifts to the bottom of the inning.
This is a big-time outing, a huge outing for Johnson. Right now it's looking like they're poised to upset the number 1 team in the conference, number 11 team in America. They would love to pull that together and pull it off, and they might be able to do so, leading by 3 runs with 1 away in the top of the 9th, and the batting order looking good. This is Ott, who's 2 for 2, that will be at the plate. The first baseman going to get a chance to work in just a moment. Right now our umpires are gathered up just off of first base. I'd love to hear what they're saying.
And as much as that Reinhardt victory against Southeastern sent shockwaves throughout the country, this would have kind of a similar effect. It would be like, wow, Reinhardt lost. How did Reinhardt lose? Who'd they lose to? these Johnson Royals trying to make their name and put their stamp on this year. Still plenty of baseball left to play this season. If they can catch fire, this will be a nice notch in their belt and in their resume.
This is Ott at the plate. 2 for 2 today, righty first baseman. That was a ball with one away. He's got a pinch runner on board over at third in great scoring position. The 1-0 pitch. Zipped in for strike one by Allen.
So already one run on the board for Johnson in this inning. Brett Allen cannot allow that to deter him. He can't lose confidence on the mound.
The 1-1, chopped, rolling, stays alive over the chalk, and now as it goes foul, he'll suffer strike two and go back to the plate with one away.
And we saw Vest, the pinch runner, coming into your frame there. He was ready to make his way home.
With one away and a runner in scoring position, top of the ninth, leading by 3. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Johnson goes right side, and it was foul again.
Yes, it was fouled off, but a nice job of just staying alive in the at-bat. Braden Ott. And if there was a most valuable player award for this game, he would be a guy who would be in massive contention for it. The plays that he's made both in the field and at the plate, coming up big time and time again for the Royals. Does he have another big moment in him here?
Allen from on top of the mound, the 1-2. Got a piece of it sounded like, but they'll send it back to the dugout. 2 away for the Royals.
So just one out left on the board. Brett Allen needs to focus in and close this one out. That would mean the Eagles trailing by 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Not the place that they felt like they would be when this game began.
6-3 Johnson Royals with 2 away and a runner in scoring position over on third.
But you just felt that weird feeling, right? It was eerie. Johnson was just hanging around. It seemed like every time Reinhardt made a play, Johnson would make a play. They never let them get too far ahead.
Looking to bunt. This is Blanchard, the freshman. Pinch hitting, down on the count, 0-2, with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. The 0-2 pitch is really low for the ball.
Trying to make him chase one there, and when you're a pitcher and you're ahead on the count 0-2, again, you really have any pitch that you want at your disposal. Good attempt there from Allen.
Allen could cash him out here and retire the side. Ball 2. Count is 2-2. 2 away. A runner in scoring position on third in Waleska. The 2-2 pitch. Popped foul left side, sailing through the air, and that retires the side. 3-run game. We go to the bottom of the 9th in Waleska, Georgia, between the Royals of Johnson University and the Eagles of Reinhardt on SESN.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
Bottom of the ninth is now in a 3-run game between the Eagles of Reinhardt University and the Royals of Johnson. Before we get into it, I want to give you a look at our upcoming schedule between these two. This is game 1 of a 3-game series. We'll have games 2 and 3 tomorrow, all on SESN. Visit SESNsports.com/how-to-watch. Find all of the ways that you can tune in live, free, and in HD on the Southeast Sports Network. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, here with you for the final stages of this one. Any thoughts before they get started and Mendoza walks up to the plate?
Reinhardt's a team that you have to feel won't be afraid of these moments. They have guys who are capable of making things happen, but it's going to need to happen quick, fast, in a hurry with just 3 outs left on the board.
Reynolds is pitching. Mendoza is 0 for 3 today. Redshirt sophomore batting .355 this season for the Eagles as he suffers strike 1.
Again, down by 3 runs. It may not be a miracle, but it would be just short of it. They're really going to need something to happen again in a hurry. We've seen Luis Mendoza come up big throughout this season. Maybe he's the guy to spark that rally for them.
The 1-1, chopped right side. It goes foul, and he stays alive.
Reynolds conducted himself very well in that previous inning, coming in for Hoffman.
The 1-2, left side towards the wall. It's sailing for Mendoza, and this one is out of here. Reinhardt gets a run back in the top of the ninth to make it a 2-run game. Luis Mendoza goes yard.
And we're very used to seeing Luis Mendoza come up big in the biggest of moments. He does it yet again. Luis Mendoza showing us time and time again he's one of the most clutch bats on this team. When his team needed it most, he came up big with that home run. And now we're seeing another pitching change from Johnson. This is getting interesting here.
Yeah, Johnson going to go ahead and make the pitching change in the late stages of this. Interesting is a great way of putting it. And how will this replacement pitcher perform in such a high-pressure situation? When Reinhardt returns to the plate, it's going to be Matty Maurer. He's 0 for 1 today, but we've seen him go yard a few times recently here at home. And the pitcher that they've sent in to replace is Braden Ott, the junior.
But who else but Braden Ott, right? We've seen him. He's 2 for 2, 2 for 3 now on the day, right? He's had a few clutch hits, a few clutch plays in the field for Johnson. Who else but him to come out and finish this thing off on the mound for the Royals?
Yeah, it's all Braden Ott. Can Braden Ott win the whole game for Johnson? We'll find out. That's a ton of pressure.
It is a ton of pressure, but he's been all over the field so far in this game. He's made plays in a variety of different ways, and this would just be an icing on the cake.
College baseball on SESN, a 2-run game in the late stages between these two. We'll have games 2 and 3 tomorrow and hope you'll be with us. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, as this one is coming towards a conclusion pretty quickly here. How do you prepare for this kind of pressure if you're Ott? Do you think they warned him, a little while ago, like, hey, go over to the bullpen?
Well, I'm sure they told him, they gave him a heads up that, hey, if this thing gets close, you're going to have to come out there, especially in the 9th inning. So I'm sure it's not something that blindsides him, but the mental preparation is more important. You just need to settle in. You need to calm down. It's something that you've done plenty of times before. Obviously, he's pitched in a little over 11 innings so far this year, so he has experience in these situations. The stage might be a little bit bigger. You might be playing a little bit better of a team, but it's not a situation that is unique to him.
11 innings and change. This is Matty Maurer at the plate. Maurer has to lean back.
That was the pitch of a guy who was very nervous right there. That was a guy who is just trying to come back and pull the reins back a little bit. He's throwing as hard as he can right now. Smart on Maurer to really get a gauge at what Ott is dealing with on the mound.
Zipped in for strike one. Count is 2-1. That was my music reference of the day. Lean back. Maurer blasts this right side. It's just inside of the fence, and he's down. One away for the Royals of Johnson University. Maurer will be replaced by Reinhardt at the plate.
And it seemed like Ott threw 4 consecutive fastballs, just throwing it as hard and as fast as he could. Maurer unable to capitalize. Now the Eagles just 2 outs left on the board.
So USL Championships premier broadcaster worked over 200 Taylor Swift references into a U.S. Soccer Open Cup game last night. That's so many. I couldn't even, it would take me hours to come up with 200 Taylor Swift song references.
That's a nice way of promoting rewatches, right? You really want people to go out and search these things up, and the Swifties will do it too. They'll go through and they'll rewind that game and they'll see. And he shakes off the rust.
Stop.
You know.
Stop.
Number 22, nice one there. You know.
The 1-1 with one away. Reinhardt spins away from the ball for ball 2. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed, but I feel like it would be hard to do it and keep it natural. How would you have to organize those in like a binder and have them ready?
I mean, we're right now in a situation. We'll see if Reinhardt will ever put it back together.
All right, I'm going to leave. 2-run game. Count is 3-1. One away as Reinhardt going to take his place on the bag over at first. So one on board for the Eagles. Reinhardt going to be followed by Bernie. Bernie 1 for 4 today. The third baseman is an electric presence batting for Reinhardt. Kind of coming into the perfect spot in their order with one away. Prime scoring chance for RU, trailing by 2 runs. Reinhardt on board, Bernie at the plate. Bernie's going to be followed by Vargas, who's followed by Lewis, who's got a .450 average. He's 2 for 4 today.
And perfect spot is absolutely right. We've seen Jared Burney, another guy, a very clutch batter. And this is a guy who's done it over the course of multiple seasons in a Reinhardt uniform, made big plays. This is just another day at the office for him. We'll see if he's able to capitalize.
With one away, that was the 0-1 pitch, and it draws ball 1. So the count 1-1, one on board.
So guys like Braden Ott, they come out, they're able to throw this kind of heat, and it's very unnerving for batters at first. But as you force him to pitch and continue to pitch throughout a game, as his count starts to go up, that velocity starts to dwindle a little bit. We see that location start to come off, and we'll see if Johnson is going to try to stop that from happening. If it's going to be a quick hook for Ott.
It looks like it might be. Meeting on top of the mound.
The entire infield is not joining him, so it seems like this would be just a meeting of refocusing instead of pulling him. But that's the thing. When you have guys that come in and they're your closers or guys that you try to bring out there to shut the door on big games, they're usually guys who are throwing with such great velocity and such great power. But as their pitch count starts to raise, they're not throwing it with as much intent. They're not throwing it with that same amount of velocity, and they're not able to locate it as well. And that's when you really start to see those big plays happen for the other team.
Bernie's batting average .331 as he suffers strike 2, fouling off. Count is 2-2, one away.
Jared Burney has a case for being one of the harder outs on this team because he will fight it off. He will do everything he can to keep the at-bat going.
Ooh, my goodness. Hopefully he's all right. Took a shot to the ribs on the side. He'll walk his way down to first. So now 2 on board for the Eagles. Johnson has cashed out one man, and that is prime position, a prime situation for Reinhardt, because next in the order is Vargas. Unless we're getting a change here, but it looks like we might be, unless it's a pinch runner. We've got Coach Burton here.
There's going to be a pinch hitter for the Eagles, and it's going to be Will Underwood.
Number 5, William Underwood.
Will Underwood, it seems like every time he comes into the game, it's in a big moment. He's someone that has a lot of trust from Coach Burton in these situations. He's 3 for 10 so far this year, so the faith is definitely warranted. Very capable of getting on base and making something happen for Reinhardt.
Will Underwood, a junior infielder from Marietta, Georgia, transferred from Western Kentucky to play for the Eagles.
So with 2 men on base, this is a golden chance for him to try to make something happen. He's going to try to help the Eagles keep this momentum rolling. They're 2 runs away, but just with 2 outs left on the board.
Ott with a little juice on the back end of that. 84, zips it in there, counts 1-0.
And you see the speedy Jamel Rooker really threatening from second. And maybe he is trying to get to third, or maybe he's just trying to get Ott off his game.
It's ball 2, and you can tell folks are feeling it around the stadium. You can hear players getting involved in the dugout, getting vocal, fans shouting out, whistling. Counts 2-0, 1 away, 2 on board for Underwood, who's at the plate.
But if you're a teammate of Braden Ott, you don't want him to start feeling it, right? You don't want him to start to get rattled and start to feel that energy shift. I mean, everyone can sense it. The thickness is in the air. Reinhardt is starting to believe that they have a chance in this one, especially after that big-time homer from Mendoza. A walk here will go a long way towards that feeling.
Oh, no.
It just intensifies, and you can tell it's very lonely on the mound for Braden Ott right now. Bases are loaded for the Eagles, and it's getting very, very interesting.
The bases are loaded, 1 away, Ott on top of the mound, and next in the batting order, again with loaded bases, is the star batter for Reinhardt. .435 average. Entered the weekend with 50 hits, 40 RBIs, and a sack full of home runs. He's already hit a moonshot today.
You can tell that Braden Ott, a guy filled with plenty of bad blood.
So to wrap this up, I mean, it really seems like the only hope for the Royals avoiding any damage is to turn a double.
It is. And a guy like Dylan Lewis coming to the plate, you know what he's been able to do throughout this game. And not just throughout this game, but throughout this season and in his time at Reinhardt. Not many more batters you would be comfortable with in this spot. Now Braden Ott right here just has to try to calm down and settle in. You don't want to get too rattled. The bases are loaded, so there is a chance that you can give up 1 run. But you can't let that affect the way that you pitch. You need to be able to stay locked in.
Lewis, left side, rolling down to the wall. There's one across. Here comes Bernie. He slides and makes it across. Reinhardt ties the game, and we've got another runner in scoring position in Waleska, where it's 6-6, Eagles and Royals.
And we saw Jared Bernie give a long glance at Braden Ott, almost telling him, like, come on, what did you expect? The Eagles made everybody wait with bated breath throughout this game. When were the bats going to come alive? And they're starting to do it here in the 9th inning. And an intentionally walking Tucker Zdunek. What a decision there.
And so the bases stay loaded, tied at 6 runs apiece in the bottom of the 9th as we'll get a mound visit from Coach.
And a well-deserved visit there. Braden Ott definitely seems a bit rattled out there. Reinhardt getting themselves back into this ball game. And it's almost like a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation. Do you allow yourself to pitch at Zdunek and maybe see him be the one that brings this one home for the Eagles? Or do you walk him and then load the bases for Nash Kroll and open up a double play chance? But that's the strength of this lineup. There are no good answers.
No, and I don't think Kroll's the right answer. You know, he's 3 for 4 today. Zdunek has been electric all year, but I think I'd rather try and pull something off against him than Kroll, just because of Kroll's ability to hit the big ball, the deep ball.
And the way that he's played throughout this game as well.
Another change. Seth Boger, the junior left-handed pitcher. He's pitched almost 30 innings this year for the Royals. Just one away, bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth from Waleska, Georgia. College baseball on the Southeast Sports Network. 6 runs apiece were tied in what has been a really electric matchup. Better than I ever could have predicted for Game 1. I thought Game 1 might be a little sleepy and we'd come to life tomorrow, but this has been just fantastic.
Of course, and again, a lot of credit to Johnson for the way that they came out. They were not afraid of Reinhardt. They were sticking with him all throughout this game, and then eventually were able to pull out in front by way of that 3-run 7th. But the Eagles, number 11 in the country for a reason, they have a lot of plaudits and a lot of applause for what they've been able to do this year, going up against a very tough schedule. So they are built for moments like these. That's why Coach Burton has made them as battle-tested as they've been, to be able to have the wherewithal and the guts to fight in these specific type of moments.
With one away, the bases are loaded in Waleska. 6 runs apiece between the Eagles of Reinhardt and the Johnson Royals. And it's the man who was just hit with a 100-mile-an-hour pitch last time out for Reinhardt's Eagles. Nash Kroll, who takes his place at the plate and to bat for Reinhardt. Fouled off. Count is 0-1. One away, bases loaded, tied at 6 runs apiece as Kroll pulls up for ball 1.
Kroll isn't afraid to chase sometimes, but he also has very good plate discipline, so he's not going to make himself an easy out.
Appalachian Athletic Conference Baseball. Johnson looking for the big upset. They had it in the bag and just had to finish strong. Reinhardt has tied the game, 6 runs apiece.
And the big problem here, Beaufort's going to have to pitch right at Kroll because a walk and the Eagles clinch the victory. You want to at least try to make them work for it.
The 2-1. Kroll fouls off, strike 2.
That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to put yourself out there. Yes, he's capable of hitting off of you, but you can't walk him. You don't want to allow the Eagles to easily take this one. You want to try to at least make them work for it. And potentially you can strike them out here.
The 2-2. Kroll, a moonshot left side. It's gone. Reinhardt wins the game on a walk-off home run. Nash Kroll goes yard for the Eagles' victory at home.
And Nash Kroll, who else but Nash Kroll, right? He went viral this week. America, I hope they're still tuned in. Nash Kroll is that dude.
Unreal. A 10-6 walk-off home run win for Nash Kroll and Reinhardt's Eagles as they take the victory at home in Game 1 of the series. It doesn't get better than that.
You can't write a better story than that, man. The Eagles on the ropes, and who else better to be the hero than Nash Kroll?
Your final thoughts on today's game, which was just an exciting, electric matchup between these two.
The true sign of a championship team is not what you do when you're able to have everything go your way. The true sign of a championship team is when you're able to make things happen and win games in unique ways. And Reinhardt was really able to pull victory out of the jaws of defeat here and win this one.
That they did, pulling victory out of the jaws of defeat in electric fashion with a home run by Nash Kroll. Reinhardt wins 10-6 at home against the Johnson Royals. We'll have games 2 and 3 tomorrow and hope you'll join us for them on the Southeast Sports Network. Thanks for being with us all afternoon into the evening for Game 1 of this series. Looking forward for you to catch up with us tomorrow and having you along for the ride. All games and events airing on our networks are broadcast live and are copyright material. Today's game will be archived inside of the Apper platform where you viewed it and available for replay This has been a product of the Southeast Sports Network.
I got involved in officiating volleyball 8 years after I played Division I in college.
Saying yes to volleyball officiating will give you the privilege to be a part of one of the most exciting sports around.
I'm a speaker,
A builder.
I coach,
Culinary arts. Auditor.
A firefighter.
for anyone contemplating becoming a volleyball official.
just go for it.
Take the plunge. Open the door.
Say yes to officiating. Learn more about how to get involved at sayyestoofficiating.com.
Join SESN for an unmatched sports experience. Dive into the world of game highlights, real-time updates, and electrifying coverage. With SESN, you're not just watching sports, you're living them. Be the first to know, the first to see, and the first to share every big moment. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
The rhythmic sound of more than 500 cascading waterfalls. The endless echo of more than 10,000 caves. The serene silence of 1,000 miles of wilderness trails. The next time someone tells you to get lost, consider it an opportunity. Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
At Shry Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Shry Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
Welcome to the new era of brand promotion. Are you trying to find a way to make a splash? We understand that advertising isn't what it used to be. Things have changed. Advertising is both more dynamic and more engaging. Shry Media keeps your brand not just seen, but remembered. In a world where staying relevant is key, we are your partners in staying top of mind.
Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.